Hey YouTube, welcome to the first video of my God Hand hard mode let's play, or walkthrough, whichever you want to call it. Man, this game is a lot of fun. This is obviously not live commentary. I just got a HD PVR personal recorder, so I am trying out the whole record the video and then record commentary on top of it. Windows Live Movie Maker doesn't really do that well, but I kind of figured out a makeshift way to do it. So anyway, this is one of my all-time favorite games. It's a PS2 game. It came out like October 2006, and it's a beat 'em up. I guess it would have been considered new school beat 'em up when it came out, kind of in the vein of Final Fight and whatnot, but nice in 3D, and it does not take itself seriously at all, man. This game is tons of laughs, but at the same time, if you're playing on hard mode like I am right now, this game is insanely difficult. I haven't actually beat it yet, so I'm trying to put this hard mode playthrough all the way through onto YouTube so I can beat it with an audience if anybody actually watches this. So yeah, like I said, this game is extremely difficult. The reason I'm not doing live commentary is, just for that fact. I could imagine how many times I had to re-record that just to deal with all the many times I would have to play each segment again. This game is hard, man. Let's see, what can I tell you about this game? Anyways, the basic idea of it is, in hard mode, in a normal playthrough, you have 4 levels of activity, I guess. You got level 1, 2, 3, and then die, which, as you can see, I'm on right now, the bottom left screen. And 1, 2, and 3, the enemies do less damage to you, and I think you do more damage to them. I'm not sure if it works 100% that way, but more or less. And the drawback being, of course you take less damage, but the drawback being you don't get nearly the rewards that you do if you're in level die mode the entire chapter. So at the end of the chapters, you get a substantial bonus to your gold, or your gold, your currency, and pretty much if you're on hard mode, you're not hurting for money so much. As long as you can play through the game and survive, money's not going to be money's not going to be an issue. It's just going to be surviving through this game. So in hard mode, it puts you at level die mode at all times, so enemies are hitting you like a hammer, and as long as you can survive, you should have plenty of cash to get through. In this little section, I was running back and forth because something is supposed to spring out of the ground right here. Something that I can beat up for a second, and it will give me an item. But for some reason, you'll see me do that again. And for some reason, it didn't give it an appearance. I've probably recorded this part 4 or 5 different times just to make sure I get a clean playthrough of it. And that's the first time it didn't appear. So it is what it is, I guess. But you do need items in this game, so I was kind of upset. Would have preferred to have extra items. But you start out with 4 combos. Oh, right here, I'll give you a little preview. This is called a devil, I believe. And every once in the first stage, there's scripted encounters. And what I'm doing right here is unleashing what's called a God Hand, which you press R2, and that gauge at the very bottom of the screen, the orange one, once it gets full, or once it starts glowing orange, you have enough of the gauge to use a God Hand. And that's basically your best weapon aside from the roulettes, which I'll get to as well, against devils. Devils, like I said, devils after stage 1-1, the very first stage, are no longer a scripted encounter, and they can randomly appear from any enemy, which they're very, very formidable enemies on any difficulty level, except I guess maybe easy, but in hard they're just through the roof as far as how challenging they can be. If you happen to run into one and you're just a so-so player in hard mode, you run into one without a God Hand or without any sort of roulette wheels, it's probably going to be a reset for you. They're tough, but they're not so bad. I could probably fight one comfortably without roulettes or God Hands, but there's just no point, especially if you're recording your playthrough, to subject yourself to that torture. Basically what it is. So basically you have what I was saying before I got interrupted by the train of thoughts on the devil. What I was saying was you start out with a basic 4-hit combo. Like, you can customize all your moves in this game from the very first combo that you have to all the way into you can actually upgrade it to 5 and 6 hit, combos. So complete customization in this game. It's fantastic. And you can there's a shop in between each stage. You can go. I'll show you guys that eventually in one of my videos, but you can go and buy extra moves. You can buy more roulette wheels. You can buy more roulette moves themselves, and you can upgrade your health. You can upgrade your God Hand gauge minimum amount, and just a lot of stuff you can do. You can also go bet on Chihuahua races, which I suppose I'll put that in a video at some point because it's ridiculous. And here's an example of what a roulette wheel is, a roulette move. You press R1 and it goes into a timer, and then you pick one of the moves and execute it. And if you look above my health gauge, which you can see is just depleted from getting smacked in the face, the two spherical, you know, like ball-looking things are your roulette wheels. And you can upgrade to, I believe, a maximum of 5 or 6, whichever. I think it's 5. And every time, some roulettes take 1, some roulette moves take 1 wheel, some take 2, and then the top move that you can get, which you don't get towards the end of the game, obviously, takes 3. And that move is super deadly. It's pretty awesome to use. So that's roulettes in a nutshell, but I'm sure anybody on GameFAQs.com can explain it with 10 times the clarity I just did. So anyway, I'd recommend you go check out an FAQ if you want to learn more about this game. Right there was weird. I thought I was going to get crushed by the wood, but lucky me, I guess. Anyways, this game is so much fun. It's frustrating, especially on hard difficulty, but this game doesn't take itself seriously at all. There's tons of comedy in this game. The cutscenes, I wish I should show the cutscenes, but with how much I'm going to end up having to reset and restart each level, I don't have the patience for it. So, and also I'll be using no continues in this game too, or doing my best to. In between, every time you die, you can opt to continue as opposed to just doing the normal game over, going back to the start screen. But it can give you an advantage in some levels because you can start, you know, halfway through the level with everything the same as when you began the level. So you'd have the same amount of roulette wheels, a full God Hand gauge, full health halfway through the level, which obviously you died, so you probably didn't have those things. So I'll be doing my best not to continue because I consider it kind of like, you know, taking advantage of the game. You might as well, if you're going to beat it on hard, you might as well go all the way. So add a little bit extra challenge, but at least this way I don't have to die on camera as well. That's always good. Oh, I love the things you can do in this game. Throwing exploding barrels. I'm about to take his weapon from him and beat the living shit out of somebody with it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to commentate every single video I make of this game because I'll probably run out of stuff to talk about, just rabbling on about nonsense. But I will hop in and give tips, my tips, because there's plenty of better players than myself at this game, but I will give whatever tips I think can help you out in succeeding in this game in hard mode. I think this is probably my favorite game on PS2. I don't know if I said that before. This is probably my favorite game on PS2. I'm a big Final Fantasy guy and everything. You know, they got Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, 12, all those good games on PS2, but this is probably my go-to game if I pull out my PS2. This game is so underrated and so unappreciated, I think. Anyways, you got your basic thugs. You got your basic thugs who are the smaller guys. You get the husky, we call them husky thugs, the real fat ones. Then you got the taller thugs who are a little bit more sturdy than the regular guys who are about your size. They're a little bit taller, harder to manhandle. They dodge and hit a little bit harder. There's 4 types of demons in this game that can spawn, and the first 3 are pretty similar except for little differences, and the 4th one is just worlds apart from the other 3, and at some point you'll see that in one of my videos. They're just night and day difference between, you know, what you were messing with before and what they turn into. It's ridiculous. First time I saw it, I was like, oh my god. They're actually not that hard. There's just really imposing looking figures. Pretty awesome looking. Here's another scripted demon encounter. So God Hand is a godsend. It's just so much fun. And like I said, from this stage onward, there is no more scripted demon encounters. They can pop up any and everywhere. So I think I've had like 3 pop up in one level. And now with my experience in the game now, it's not such a daunting task to kill one, but when I was first learning this game, and this game's a lot harder than it looks. When I was first learning this game, a demon, I used to get so angry because a demon would spawn. I'd be praying to God I didn't see a demon on any levels at all, which is obviously unrealistic, but that's how hard I used to think they were. So if you haven't played this game, I strongly recommend you play it. Oh, I came so close to having to restart this whole video right there because I charged in and I got nut racked. Forearm nut racked. I didn't realize how close I was to losing this video when I was actually playing. I just kind of zoned out. I went back and rewatched it. I was like, oh man, that was close. Those cards refill your God Hand gauge. So I did not mean to kill this guy. Like I threw the pipe, but I didn't think I'd hit him, but I ended up fucking killing him. I don't know if I don't think there's repercussions on that, but I was like, whatever. So anyway, that's my first video. Stay tuned. I'll have some up coming pretty soon. I plan to play a lot of this game just like any of my Let's Plays. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.